All right, let's get started. We're going to continue working on pages 49 through 108, I believe it is. Let me double check that once just to be sure I'm correct. Page 49 through 108 in Shift. I want you to make sure, first of all, you have a copy of this book. And then I want you to read the foreword of the book and then skip to page 49 and read from page 49 to 108 over and over and over again. What's the one thing that I can do such that by doing it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? Master pages 49 through 108 of Shift. There's the one thing that you can do. And for today, we're going to focus on pages 54 through 59. Now, there are three things, write them down, action steps to get your business moving in a positive direction. Number one, stop doing what doesn't work. Number two, figure out what does work. And then number three, ramp it up. Figure out, stop doing what isn't working, figure out what is working, and then ramp it up. Okay, moving over to page 54, here's what Gary has to say on the subject. We can evade reality, but we cannot evade the consequences of evading reality. The consequences of evading the reality of your lead generation situation could be dire. Pay attention. The way to avoid this is to acknowledge your situation and do something about it. The first step is to stop doing what doesn't work. Now, bottom of the page, your goals haven't changed. If your goal was to sell 24 homes a year, take 36 seller listings a year, just because the market moves from more to less, the goal doesn't change. And if the goal doesn't change, you have to change. Your plan has to change. What you're doing has to change. What you did before isn't working anymore. We're moving into an era of extra effort. Boy, I was really hoping somebody had that. We're moving into an era of extra effort. Average effort in a great market works. Average effort in a shifting market will get you a job working at McDonald's. You know, I used to say Starbucks, and I have to stop doing that because Lacey has a job at Starbucks, and I know she watches my videos, and I'm thinking, holy cow, my own little girl, my baby girl is going to say, Dad, you're totally trashing me, to all these people. Starbucks is a great job. Yes, sweetie, it's a great job, and I love you. Okay. All right, your goals haven't changed. You know what your annual income goal is, and you know the number of sales you must close to hit it. What has changed is the number of appointments you are going on and the number of leads it takes you to get to those appointments. The question you're going to answer is, what am I doing or spending money on that is no longer effective since the market has shifted? You know, I shared with you a couple of days ago that back in 2006, 7, 8, when I was selling real estate, we went from a market where in order to sell 2 listings a month, you had to take 3. So take 3 listings, Maxwell. It's Maxwell, right? Mm-hmm. Take 3 seller listings, 2 are going to sell. Guaranteed. And then like overnight, at least it felt like it was overnight, we went into a market where in order to sell 2 seller listings, it took 20 seller listings. We shared from Shift, Gary Keller was sharing stories from agents that were saying, I believe she was in Tennessee somewhere, she had to go on 34 buyer appointments showing 34 properties in order to get 1 property under contract. And she was sharing, it used to be 10. It used to be 10 appointments led to a contract. Then it was 17, then it was 24, and now it's 34. So the goal hasn't changed. What changes is how are you going to get there? And part of that is figuring out, what am I doing that isn't working? Now, jumping to page 56, middle of the page. Lead generation effectiveness is the one true building block of all successful real estate careers. And while its goal is always immediate business, that is usually best accomplished through a dual focus on present and future business. So you've heard me say many, many times, we're looking for opportunity, period. Not just opportunity right now, opportunity, period. Who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home in the next 6 months? Not who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home today? That doesn't mean that I don't want appointments with people who want to sell their home today. However, too many real estate agents judge opportunity away. In other words, somebody comes to your open house and you greet them. You say, hi, good morning. My name's John Dietz. I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty. Felicia, thank you for coming to my open house, except I don't know her name yet. And may I ask your name? She says, Felicia. And I say, so you're in the market to buy a home. Script, write it down. And she says, no, I'm just looking. Maybe 2 to 3 years from now. Average realtor, bad lead. I'm going to ignore the opportunity and I'm going to say something to myself like she's just kicking tires. She's not serious. Now, I'm going to tell you there is no such thing as a bad lead, just bad real estate agents who don't follow up. Write it down. Now, what I would encourage you to do, Felicia, is get their contact information, put them in command, launch a 36-touch smart plan, and start building a relationship for future business. Because if it's really 3 years from now, I'm going to be selling homes 3 years from now, right? My response to that person who comes to the open house and says, just looking, I'm going to buy a home 3 years from now. My response is, awesome. I'm going to be selling homes 3 years from now. Please sign in. Okay. Now, bottom of the page, you may find that it is impossible to hit your future goals without expanding your lead generation activities. So at some point, you may either want or need to invest some money towards additional lead generating. When you do, start by only investing in what you know works and only initiate carefully planned efforts. If you're part of our productivity coaching program in Coral Springs, you had an opportunity to be on a Zoom call yesterday in which we were discussing RISE, R-I-S-E, leads coming to Coral Springs. And I believe that you learned that there's a monthly cost. I want to say it's $50 a month. And then there's a referral fee on every closing. There's an opportunity for you to get more leads. That's something you should probably look at if you haven't looked into that. Now, does that mean you stop working your database? No. Does it mean you stop knocking on doors? No. Stop calling for somebody? No. It's and you're adding this. Now, what Gary shares in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent in the budget model is play red light, green light. And all that means is when you do make that investment, now it's red light. And it's red light until you see a return on the investment. Hold the money you spend accountable to at least a 10-to-1 return. A 1-to-1 return, why would you do it? 2-to-1 is barely making a profit. I want 10-time return on the investment I'm spending. Now, as soon as I see that, I'm putting more money towards that source of lead generation. Let me just stop for a moment and just ask everybody tracking? Is this making sense? Okay. You guys are quieter than you usually are, but okay. All right, going over to page 57. What is happening to you is happening to everyone else in your market. The advice that works for you is the same advice that will work for them. The one who succeeds will be those who understand this the quickest and do something about it. That needs to be you. So step 2. Larry, talk to me.
Sí, ve, mira.
Oh my God. I had a quick question on that, on the 10-to-1, which I, totally understand. But as you said, you're trying to build leads, build connection, build emotional proximity. That doesn't happen in 30 days or 40 to 5 days. It may take a year. So some of this 10-to-1, I mean, we just kind of went through this ourselves and dropped a bunch of the Zillow. We had subscribed to Zillow and we were getting leads. Nothing was too, a couple of them have turned out, but nothing like 10-to-1. Mm-hmm. But there's one, the long-term nature of that relationship. And then there's also the opportunity of referrals from that source, mm-hmm. which, we're fairly new in the business. And so it's maybe a little premature. I guess that's the question I have.
Not really. So, first of all, Zillow, let's talk about that. It's internet leads. So is Rise, by the way. What makes Rise work so well is this company has mastered conversion, and they're getting a higher percentage of conversion than anyone else. And they're feeding leads to you based on how quickly you're responding to those leads and what your conversion ratios are. So the more quickly you respond, the better your conversion ratios are, the better the leads are that are being funneled to you. So if you looked at the national average for internet leads, it's 2% conversion ratios at the top. It's between 1% and 2%. And typically there's a long nurture process between the day you get the lead and the day it closes. Now, Larry, here's my answer to you. So we've got the lead generation model, which is capture, it's connect, it's book an appointment, or it's nurture. I know you can't read that, but I promise it says nurture. Now, nurture means I'm entering them into my database as a new Met. And Larry, what you're saying is some of those new Mets over time work their way into my sphere of influence. And because I launched a 36 touch on them, I'm communicating systematically with them and I'm building a relationship with them. A year from now, maybe a lead that came in from a lead source that I'm spending money on ends up living inside my database. And who do you know that might be looking to buy or sell a home? Oh, I know so-and-so. And that turns into a referral, right? That's not a direct return on the lead generation aggregator source that you're spending money on. This is, I got a lead, I capture it, I connect, I either book an appointment or I nurture the lead for a period of 3 to 6 months. That turns into an appointment, that turns into a closing, not the person who ends up in your database that gives you a referral, because the source of business from that is not the lead aggregator, it's repeat and referral business from your database.
John, I've got a question.
Yes, and I know that's probably a little bit complicated. Let me make it really simple here for you guys. Michael, 1 second. If I'm spending $50 a month on leads from a lead aggregator like Rise, I'm spending $600 a year. Yes. And if my 50 times 12 is 600, okay. And I have a 25% referral fee, just to pick a number. And the average commission is $10,000. So that's $2,500 referral fee plus $600. Let's just average it at $3,000. I've got $3,000 invested in leads from that lead aggregator. Everybody with me? I'm looking for $30,000 back.
Right.
3,000 times 10, 30,000. I'm looking for $30,000 back. If my average commission is $10,000, Then I'm looking for 3 closed sales in a 12-month period in order to get a 10-to-1 return. Now, for me, once I'm getting that, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to spend more money on that lead source, double down on what is working. So if I'm spending $3,000 a year and I'm getting $30,000 back, it makes sense that if I spend $6,000 a year, I'm going to get $60,000 back. Now, you can just keep doing the math and that number gets bigger and bigger and bigger. All right, Michael Topo, talk to me.
The leads from Rise, are they seller focused? Or are they a mixed bag?
Both, they're mixed. Yeah.
Thank you.
Was that it? Okay. Okay. Looking for more, but that's okay. Are you guys tracking me?
Yes.
All right, good. All right, step 2, figure out what works. Middle of the page. You now need to understand why and how lead generation really works. Why and how lead generation really works. So if you, middle of the page, under step 2, figure out what works. Think back to when you were in real estate school. For some of you, it won't be that hard. It was last week. And how often did they talk about lead generation? Never. Never. And it's the most important conversation. Right? I mean, if it was my real estate school, the very first week would be, all right, here's what it looks like to be a real estate agent. Here's what it means to be successful in real estate. Oh, by the way, you don't have to pay for this course until the first week is over, because at the end of the first week, now you're going to know what it takes to be successful in real estate. Are you still interested? And at least half the room is getting up and walking out.
That's why they don't do it.
That was exactly my thought, John.
That's what they should do.
That's why they don't.
Then they'll lose money.
Right.
Exactly.
Think about how much more money they could make if they did do that and they had a higher success rate. Now, think of the referral business they would get from everyone who's attending their school, who's saying, you've got to attend John Dietz University because holy cow, you're going to learn how to be successful in real estate. Go pay him. Soapbox, sorry. All right, having sales happen is one thing. Having sales happen is one thing. But now we need to make sales happen. Big difference. Having sales happen is Aunt Judy calling you up and saying, honey, I want to list my house. And you go and list it. And you're like bragging on Facebook about some listing you just got, sold in a day, had 20 offers. And oh boy, look at me. You didn't do a thing but answer your phone. That's having sales happen. Quit bragging about it. Now, making sales happen. That's a different thing. You need to understand the difference. You could brag about that all day. I'll brag for you. Bottom of the page, anyone who doesn't move to mastering lead generation usually gets shifted right out of real estate. This is Millionaire Real Estate University. You are all tracking to earn $1 million a year selling real estate. That's why you're here. You're not here to be average. That class is down the hall. It's not here. And in order to master the game of real estate, you have to spend time mastering one thing. It's the very first domino. It's the domino effect. And that one thing is
Lead gen.
lead generation. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, it's lead generation. Yes, mastering the conversations of real estate is the path. It's on the path to mastering lead generation, but the one thing is mastering lead generation. Do that, you're going to be super successful. Don't do that, you're going to be working at McDonald's. Speaking of scripts, You're going to have to learn scripts. Boy, I learned this from a previous MAPS coach, so don't get mad at me. You can either master the conversations of real estate, or you can master, would you like fries with that?
Wow.
You can either master the conversations of real estate, or you can master, would you like fries with that? It's your choice, right? Oh my gosh. All right. Anyone who doesn't move to mastering lead generation usually gets shifted right out of real estate. The proven formula you can use for truly understanding what will work in your market is the 2 M's of lead generation. The 2 M's of lead generation are method and message. Let me say it in reverse. They're message and method. Now, going over to page 58, and we're going to wrap this up. The first principle of lead generation messaging is that your message must match your market. This means that your lead generation message must match the motivation of the buyers and sellers in whatever market you're in. Always follow this standard. It's how you cause motivation to show up and reveal itself. So, message in today's market. Golden letter, message. Hello, my name is blank. I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty. The reason I'm sending you this letter is the market is super hot. We have buyers that are looking for great homes like yours, and there's nothing on the market. And I was just curious, who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home? Now, let me go back to the market that I talked about earlier, back in 2008, when we had to take 20 listings a month to sell 2. 20 listings a month to sell 2. Would I have been mailing golden letters in that market? No, I wouldn't. I have lots of buyers that are looking for great homes like yours, and there's nothing on the market. Are you kidding me? Everybody's home is on the market. The message and the method have to match the market. Now, let me give you another idea here, and you're not doing this, and this is an opportunity for you today. I'm going to give you another idea on the golden letters. Let's start sending lost gold letters. Lost gold letters. In other words, we're on a treasure hunt. There's gold at the bottom of the ocean, and we're going to go find it. Here's the gold that you're not looking for that you should be looking for. Old expired listings. Listings that came off the market 6 months ago or 12 months ago, anywhere between 6 and 12 months. You heard in our team meeting on Wednesday that number's pretty big, right? Mm-hmm. And reach out to them. I noticed your home came off the market 6 months ago. And as I'm sure you know, the market is super hot. Matter of fact, it's much better today than it was 6 months ago. And if you could get what you were asking for 6 months ago, would you sell your home today? If you could get more than what you were asking 6 months ago, if I had an offer on your home today for more than you were asking, would you want me to bring you the offer? If so, call blank, 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 text blank, 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 email blank, blank, blank. It's a MOFIR, MOFIR. It is, oh boy, say that and forget what it stands for. It is a message. It's a message of an offer for immediate response. It's an offer for immediate response. All right, talk to me. What'd you guys hear? Raise your hands. Don't everybody talk at once. Jonathan.
Well, earlier when you mentioned judging away opportunity, I got a great example